Troops, here we are. It's another Eagle podcast. I've been joined tonight by probably the most accountable woman who I know. I've known her for about a year. She turned up on a confidence mindset course, which I was a part of, called Make or Break. If you're from Darlington, you've probably seen her sprinting around the streets, screaming at the sky, taking on the world. It's Hayley Grainger, aka HG. How are you doing?
Hi, John.
Are you all
I'm
right?
good. Yeah. I'm loving that introduction.
Yeah, I'll clip it up for you, mate, and then you can play it everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Before you walk into a room, and you'll be like, oh, I've already got my intro. It's already sorted.
Yeah.
How you find it, mate? I know you're very active on Strava, and we've done the door-to-door challenge and all that sort of good stuff. How are you finding lockdown?
Yeah. Lockdown. Well, obviously, I know it's a really horrible situation. And I'm fortunate that, I haven't been affected by it in terms of health. Everybody I know is healthy and well. But for me personally, I'm enjoying lockdown. To be honest, not going to work, being able to train every day. It might sound a bit selfish, but that's what I enjoy doing. So I'm, pretty much in my element, really. Getting to go out and run and train. Obviously, I'm missing my gym.
Yeah.
I think everybody that trains is probably missing their gym. But, you can either sit around and think, oh, God, what am I going to do? Or you can adapt.
Yeah. That's it. It's a great point, and I feel like because you're big on personal development and big on fitness, I feel like people who are of that mindset are finding this difficult time not as difficult. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely agree with that. I mean, like the personal development thing as well, even that, it's like, it's having time, just having more time and freedom to be able to do those things. So having time to, read and learn and like better yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm studying at the minute, so I'm doing that, but I'm also doing my own personal development bits as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair enough, and obviously, we first met each other on a course called Make or Break, which a good friend of ours runs, Tommy C. But what I'm interested in, Hayley, is how you came to do that course and the sort of lead up to it and why you chose to do it.
Yeah. So me and Tom were actually talking about this last week, and we were talking about obviously the type of people that go onto the course, because when I met Tom online, so I didn't know Tom at all before I did Make or Break, just got talking online, and I was kind of already on a bit of a journey at that point. So I was already, looking for something else and, looking for a different way. And I knew there was more for me, but I didn't know what. So I was curious, and I didn't even know anybody that had done the course, and I didn't know anybody that was going to be on the course that I went on. So I didn't really have any like recommendation of anybody saying, do this course because it gives you this, blah, blah, blah. I just thought, well, what have I got to lose? I'm going to meet new people, try something new. And that's what I thought at the time. But obviously, I didn't know what, how much it was going to open up for me at the time. So it's been massive for me. I can't recommend the course enough.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. What were you looking to get from the course, and ultimately, did you get it, and did you get more from it than you thought?
Yeah, I definitely got more from it than I thought. I was just looking to, so I think I didn't really have a network of people that were on the same wavelength as me. Obviously, I've got friends and I've got my family. Without kind of going too deep, a lot of my friends, they've got children or whatever, and they're in a different situation to me. And I'm fortunate that all my free time is mine. You know, I don't have children, so I don't have those type of responsibilities. And I understand it's hard for people with children to train as much. They probably look at me and think, well, it's all right for you. You know, you've got more freedom and time. But so they just kind of were like into different things to me. And I was already into fitness at that point.
Yeah.
I'd already started kind of on a journey of self-development. I'd started reading and like online courses and stuff like that. So I was just really curious about make or break, and I like the sound of it. But I think the biggest thing that it's done for me, obviously it looks like your self-limiting beliefs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's that feeling of always thinking, well, there's things I want to do, but I don't know if I can do it, you know, I don't know if I'm good enough and all of that type of thing. So it breaks through that. And it holds you, obviously the networks and the friendships that you build up afterwards, that you continue, you know, we've not just done the course, have we? And then just said, right, see you later. You know, there's loads of us, and we've all built really good relationships with each other.
Definitely.
That are mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things from it, because that keeps pushing you. And it's that, I know we always say it, but it's that accountability, isn't it? Having people behind you all the time saying, you know, come on, you can do this, you can push yourself further. And so you don't just do the course and then go home and think, all right, that's it now.
Job done. Was there anything on the course that you were scared of, or anything, or maybe scared might not be the right word, but did you have any did you ever feel, Jesus Christ, I'm out of my comfort zone here?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, actually, because we were talking about that, weren't we, a little bit the other day on our live video. So I didn't know like what was involved in the course at all. And I just thought, you know what, whatever it is, you know, I'll be fine. I'll give everything a go. I didn't want to jump out of an aeroplane. That was the only thing I didn't want to do. And I kept thinking, if it's that, I won't be able to do it, but I could do anything else. So obviously everything that we did, I enjoyed, but I am into fitness and I love being outdoors, and I'm quite adventurous anyway. So I like that type of thing. I'm very competitive. So I always want to try and like do my best and with everything. One thing that I did learn on that course, actually, that you really taught me as well, was about helping other people, because I already was kind of interested in that, but on that course I realized that I was kind of, you know, kind of setting a bit of an example to other people. And I got to the point where I thought, well, yeah, this might be not so hard for me, but it is hard for the people, and my job here can be to help them and to inspire them. And I was just trying to keep up with you. Thinking I need to keep up with him. But like Via Ferrata is obviously something that we've done. And like loads of people have said to me, like after I've done it, because I've got obviously like pictures and things on my social media, and like quite a few people have said to me like, wow, that looks really hard. You're so brave. You must be so brave to do that. And I know obviously like a lot of people have tried to do it and not succeeded. And a lot of people are scared. But to me, I don't feel like I am brave, because that particular event doesn't, like, it's hard and it's challenging, of course, but I don't get scared as such. I enjoy it. But I don't get, I mean, it is scary to a certain extent, but I don't get scared as much as some people do. So therefore, if you're not scared, how can you be brave, you know?
No, that's a very that's a great point that you've brought up there. And I feel like some people lack the ability to get after what they fear. Like they lack that, you know, they see what they fear and they avoid it at all costs. And instead, realistically, what you should do is you should go and attack the thing that you fear. So, example, if you hate 5K runs, then you should like go and do one all the time. So before what you fear just becomes the norm. Do you know what I mean? And you're right in what you say there. It's Via Ferrata is a challenge. There's no doubt about it. But only in that challenge is where growth comes from. And like the first thing I remember on our first make or break, like obviously I was impressed like with the way that you sort of handled yourself and how you conducted yourself, because you did lead from example. Like you did know that you were the fittest, but you weren't just like, well, I'm just going to fly up here and then I'll just wait for everyone else to catch up and then I'll be completely recovered and I'll look really good all the time. But
the thing is, though, when you're a competitive person as well, you have to constantly fight that urge.
Yeah.
Because you're competitive, so you want to like be at the front, and you want to be like, oh yeah, I'm at the front. But to fight that competitive kind of nature is quite hard, and to be, you know, I want to try and help the people at the back. It's quite a hard thing to do. So yeah, that's something where I've kind of grown a lot.
And then like sort of moving on from that, like you're right as well in what you said about it creates community. Now, obviously, me and Tom have moved on and grown into like a different. Our business relationship and friendship is now like we're going to take over the world. We are like me and him are thinking about invading Russia. But it's dead interesting. Like yesterday, I ordered my Sunday dinner from F1 from McLaren's Kitchen. Do you know what I mean? Who I met on Make or Break. The whole accountability.
She's doing amazing.
Yeah. But like the whole thing, and we sort of had a conversation the other day, and we'll talk about it. How before lockdown, you're now a consultant for was Weight Watchers. It's now WW, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Does that come from wanting to help other people?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So it's about helping people. Obviously, WW is a brand that I coach for, and it's one part of what I do.
Yeah.
But it's about helping people kind of instill healthy, lifelong habits. So it's a combination of, you know, of what you eat, the activity that you do, and also your mindset. Which is perfect for me because that's everything that I'm about. Yeah. So it's helping people with that. You know, there's a bit of a stigma with it because people think it's just about losing weight, and it's not just about that. It's about the whole thing. You know, healthy habits for life. So yeah, it's really good.
And what's your plans with it? You know, like once you sort of we get back to some sort of normal, and you get back to a normal way of life. Have you got big plans on how you're going to sort of motivate your group, and you know what's the grand plan? Yeah,
I'm helping a few people at the minute, obviously with their fitness levels specifically. Yeah. And so what we're doing is people that are not necessarily doing any exercise at the minute, maybe doing little or no exercise at all. And one of the good things about this lockdown situation is a lot of people they've looked at other people and they're thinking, well, hang on, you know, I can do that. I want to do more, and I want to get, you know, my fitness levels up. It's not just about how you look, it's about how you feel in yourself. It's about having confidence, you know, talking there before about you know, facing your fears and wanting to do things. If you feel good and healthy in yourself, and you feel confident in yourself, then you're gonna do more. You're gonna thrive, and you're gonna succeed more. But if you're not kind of in that mindset, or you're not doing any activity, it's hard to just kind of stay stuck and think, well, I'm fine as I am. If you don't know what else there is. Yeah. So I'm helping people kind of start that journey, with, you know, just giving them ideas of like workouts to do at different levels, because some people aren't doing anything at the minute, so they don't necessarily want to be doing the fitness routine that I'm doing myself at the minute, but we can adapt it and make it a bit easier for them.
And you talk about network and sort of you go to CrossFit Darlington. Is that something that you're going to look to sort of promote as well within your group, as in, you know, for those who want to do it, come with me and go to a gym? I know a lot of people have the fear going into a gym because of this fear of being like judged. Now, I feel like if they had someone to go with at first, it would be an easier thing. Is that something that you're going to promote?
I mean, I'll definitely promote CrossFit. I'll always promote CrossFit. I love it. And to be honest, me and my dad were having a conversation about this a month or two ago, because I was going through obviously a change of routine, a change in my life, and I didn't know whether I could keep CrossFit up, which was quite worrying for me, because I've been doing it about 3 years now. And you know, there's things I can't do, and a lot of the movements I still have to scale. It's really hard. But that's the thing with it. Every movement you can scale, so anyone can do it. And there's all sorts of different people that go to CrossFit. There's, you know, people of different ages, different fitness levels, and everyone helps each other. And it is like a community. A community in itself. CrossFit, everyone helps each other. You work out, you do your workout together, you work out of the day, you do it together, and you help each other. A WOD, and if it's a timed WOD, and someone's a bit slower, then we all wait and we all help them and cheer them on. So I'll definitely, you know, promote that.
Would you say like it's the place to go? I don't know. Say you're carrying from Facebook, right? And you maybe a couple of stone overweight, and you've got a really poor mindset, but you've made the first decision of, well, I'm going to Hayley's online or live classes, and I'm thinking about going straight in the deep end. Would you say that's the right move to make? At any level of fitness, could you just go into a CrossFit gym?
You could, yeah.
You
can go into CrossFit at any level of fitness. You could be, you know, just a beginner starting at the very beginning of your journey, and you can go. Some people might not do that because they might, like you say, feel scared and feel like, oh, I don't want all of these. The thing with CrossFit is there's a lot of fit people there.
Yeah.
And people, you know, we all like got our tops off and all of that.
Jacked. I've seen some of the lads. Hench.
So that can be a bit intimidating for some people, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. It's just because it's so hard. You get so hot. So that's why you've got to strip off. It can be intimidating for some people, but you know, you don't have to do CrossFit. That's not the only type of gym or fitness you can do. There's loads of things you can do. So it's what I'm all about is, you know, just getting people started in something that it's about doing what you enjoy. Because before, obviously, you were talking about running, and I was having a conversation with my mum the other week, and I'd kind of got her started a little bit with some running, and she was like, I don't like it, I don't enjoy it. It's, you know, it's hard. And I said, of course it's hard. That's the thing with running. It's the hardest really when you first start.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Because and if you go and then you don't go for like a week or a few weeks or whatever, it's just hard again, and it's just like starting from the beginning again. And it's consistency, isn't it? Consistency is key.
100%.
That's why that's how I've got to where I am now. Just daily habits. But yeah, that's the thing. And when it's hard, that's when I've said to her, that's when you've got to think, you've got to keep going. And that's why a lot of people don't keep going, or they don't start because it's too hard, and they just think, well, it's hard, so they give up. You know, and that's, you know, successful people are successful because they don't give up. Even when it's hard. In any area of your life, any area.
People don't like to lose. They're like, I mean, it's one thing that like gets me. I don't understand the sort of like, but will it be hard sort of attitude? And like, I put a post out the other day about the Yorkshire Three Peaks, and someone sort of said, I could never do it in 10 hours. And I'm like, could never do it. I'm like, we're not having a crack at the Argentinians in the Falklands. Like, it's totally doable for someone who's averagely fit to get 10 hours on the Yorkshire three-piece. Like, and I just thought, why don't people back themselves like all of the time? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand it. Yeah. I don't
like
understand.
You would your friend.
Yeah. I don't understand why people don't back themselves like 1000%. Like, it's almost like you've told yourself, I've lost. Like, and if you're telling yourself you're defeated before you've even started the battle, then you have. And I think it's something that like people need to move away from. And like, I'll back myself 1000% all the time, every time. I'm not the fittest man on planet Earth, but I've got his mindset. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to try and take me on, you best be prepared to go to dark places, because like I live there. Do you know what I mean? I've even took the light bulbs out the ceiling. Like, I love living in the dark. Like, it's class. Bring it on. And people are asking me, how are you finding COVID-19? And I'm like, yeah, it's all right. I've got Disney Plus and Netflix. Like, I've fought the Taliban twice. Like, if you want to know what tough is, then we can go and find it. Like, it's interesting. Why do you think people lack the self-belief in backing themselves?
The thing with lockdown and people struggling with it is because they don't like change. That's what it is. A lot of people just can't cope with change at all, because they're in such a routine that they're comfortable with, and change is hard for your mind to adapt to, isn't it? And majority of it is mindset. And it's if you wake up in the morning and you hesitate, and you'll agree with this, and let the thoughts creep in, let the chimp kick in, it's going to, if you allow it to. That's why you gotta get up straight away, and stop the chimp from
the chimp
starting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I talk a lot about, obviously, what you were saying before, backing yourself, being kind to yourself. Would you say to your friend, oh no, you won't be able to do that event, there's no point trying? You just wouldn't, would you?
And if you did say that to your friend, then
you're not a good friend.
You're not friends. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. And like me and Tom have, like, we've talked about it. Like, the 100,000 steps is like my hardest event. Now, it's not hard you won't finish it like you ran your personal 5K, like absolutely knackered, like not cardio knackered. But what you'll be is
different.
You'll be physically and mentally broken down for the sheer distance. And like, when it's almost like, for me, it was almost my baptism of fire of going to a place that was so far away, so far removed from like anything I've ever experienced in the realms of like mental beating and tough, and like just sheer like, oh my God, like how far is it nearly over?
Is it over yet?
Is it over yet? And it's inspired me to like write a blog about it, like how and why I got into Fitbit and how and why I got into counting steps and chasing the data. And we sort of had a conversation, and it's important to set goals. And though I wouldn't say to someone just starting out, like, oh, go bang straight in for a 50 miler. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to have incremental wins. Do you know what I mean? You've got to win a war, you've got to win battles, and that's what it takes. And I feel like you've got a lot more in the locker, and I'm keen to see where you really have to dig in. What do you think?
I know you do, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always up for any challenge, and I think I agree 100% with the goal setting thing. And that's, anyone that knows me knows that's what I'm all about, setting goals. With fitness and with everything else as well. Fitness comes a bit easier than other areas of life for me, but you've got to set goals. It's what life's all about. It's what keeps you going. And when you've reached the goal, you better have another goal set up ready. You know, that's growth, isn't it? And that's life. We've got to keep having them. But the 20-mile event that I talked about the other day, was hard for me.
I know why. I know I've been thinking about this. Now, I could take you on that exact same route again. Just say lockdown finishes next Saturday, and you would breeze it, right? Because you've already done it in your mind. So it would nowhere near be as difficult as it was. What was difficult about it was you didn't really know what you were going to do, and you didn't have any idea where the finish was. So you couldn't gauge. You couldn't gauge, like, oh, I'm going to be done in an hour's time. Like, you would recognize certain parts of the route and go, oh yeah, I remember this bit. And it would be nowhere near as hard as and you look back, actually, you'd finish it and you go, I don't know why I made such a big deal of that. Like, you would, like, and it was only because of you didn't really know what you were getting into. But the main thing is that you finished it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you had the mental fortitude to go, well, I ain't quitting. Do you know what I mean?
No.
And you did, and you soldiered on. But you'll look back at that event, like, this year we will do harder things than that event, and you will look back and say, I don't know why I found that so hard. For me, I look at stuff and I think, why was that so hard? Like, the like wake, for example, that is very hard because the back end section, it's the same scenery over and over and over and over, and it doesn't really feel like you're making any progress. Do you know what I mean? So in your mind, you're like, oh my God, like, I'm in the same field. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like you get anywhere, which is psychologically hard. But end of the day, when I finished my like wake at 40 miles, and I was like, I am completely done. Now, that's not true because I've done a 50 miler before. So I still had another 10 mile in me, but mentally I was done. And I'm fascinated by the mind, and like, I'm done, but I'm not really done.
It's interesting because I'm going back to running again, but like, this time last year, I didn't think I could run 10k. And Tom was like, well, of course you can, you know, don't be stupid. Let's just go out and do it. And I was like, okay, but if I get tired, I might have to stop. Like, it's just ridiculous. And anyway, did it. And then it was like, right, well, we're going to get to 20k. Some days you'll go out, right, and 5k will be hard. And you're on 4k and you're thinking, God's sake, only on 4k. And then other days you'll go out and do 20k and then look back and think, oh my God, I ran 20k. How did I do that? Because to say last year, I never thought I could run 10k.
Are you up to 20k?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We did. Me and Tom did 20k just before lockdown.
Wow.
We did. We only did it once. But we got it in. And it was a decent time as well, actually.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was, but it was decent.
That's a fair play. That, like, I'm aiming for 20k at the moment, and it's just like, I think I'm up to like 19.2k or something like that. So realistically, I could get 20k. That's not a problem. But I feel like we've all done quite a lot of stuff, and like this morning, I went out thinking in my own mind, I'm going for 20k, but I felt awful. I felt stiff. One of my calves felt off. I don't like the look of my hair. Like, whatever it was, like, I didn't have my favourite top on. Whatever.
You could think of anything, literally anything at all, to talk yourself out of something, can't you?
I'm all about pushing, and it's okay to be uncomfortable. But as well, I feel like it's important to listen to your own body as well, like, and go, I'm going to actually do damage to myself here. And you know what? I end up just doing like a 5k recovery loop. So,
I know what you mean, because people say to me all the time, you're not resting enough, you know. Have you had one of my friends messaged me last night, have you not had a rest day? You're not having rest days? And I was like, yeah, I had a rest day on Saturday. But I think you know yourself the best, and you know your body. And you know when, like, if you're going out and you're running and your time and you're getting slower, that might mean it's time for
Yeah,
a
it's
rest
time.
day.
It's time for a rest day.
Luckily, I haven't got any injuries, and I haven't, I don't get injuries at the minute. Luckily, quite a few people we know, obviously, in our group, there's a few injuries going on at the minute. So, and we've been saying to them, obviously, about adapting. Don't just think, oh, I've got an injury, so I can't do anything. You've got to adapt and find something that suits.
Yeah, no, it's a fair cop, that, mate. It's been really interesting speaking to you, HG. I feel like you're probably on a mission, and I feel like in 2 or 3 years' time you'll be the top WW woman in the well, let's just say in the world. Don't ever aim for small time. But as well, it's a statement that I heard. Gary Vee and others say, if you're the smartest man or woman in the room, then you need to move to a different room. And I feel like that's do you know what I mean? Like, if you're the fittest person in your running group or your gym, then you need to find a new, do you know what I mean? You need to go again.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And going out with people and thinking, God, I thought I was a bit tasty, me. And then getting absolutely lynched and thinking, I'm not as tasty as I thought I was. So we did it on the live, but we'll go through it again on the podcast here. People's routine has been changed. So I've created the 5 watts to sort of showcase people's sort of new routine. So what does your day look like?
My day, look, I'm getting up and I've got loads of stuff that I'm on with at the minute. So because I've got studying to do. So I'll get up, get on with jobs, emails, replying to people, whatever. Social media, maybe a bit of self-development. I've started doing a little bit of meditating because I've been wanting to kind of start doing that. So I've started doing that. Reading, so might be reading, might be listening to podcasts, and then I'm working through the day, and then I'm training at tea time at the minute. It's different. Some days I get up early and train and then get on with my day, or some days I do it at tea time. So my training consists of, it might just be a run or it might be a run. So yesterday I did an 8k run, and then I did a bit of a workout when I got back, which was it was just 30 box step ups, but I've got a little step, so I adapted it to use that. 30 of them, and then 30 kettlebell thrusters. That's the only equipment I've got, is a kettlebell and some super
well, that's all you've got.
And then so I did like 3 rounds of that. But I'm doing different workouts every day. I'm not doing the same thing. I'm trying to like mix it up a bit. I've been doing my walks with the 10 kilos with the 10 kilos on my back. So I've got the backpack with loads of little dumbbells in, up to 10 kilos. So I've had that on my back, been walking about 7 or 8k. Taking Mum on that as well, because she can do that. She doesn't need to have the weight. She could just walk. So I've been doing that. So last week we were doing some walks, and then I was doing like a run and a workout later in the day as well. That's my perfect day, I would say, really.
Fair play. No, it's fair play. And the second one is, what workouts have you been doing? But obviously you've just covered there. What workouts you doing? No, you will sort of talk about it, but you're really active on Strava. We talked before the podcast how we're all going to sort of meet together and sort of go for like a best effort PB on the sort of parkrun 5k. Let's
sub 25.
You're going right. Beat Tommy C.
I'm yeah. Do you know what though? Tommy C's getting too fit.
Yeah.
He's getting too fit. I don't like it.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was looking over my shoulder the other day because I was running myself, and I was like, I got like a PB park run as well, and I was like, do you know what? Tom's like, he's catching up to me now. I can only improve. He's making quick gains on me.
You've got to keep moving forward, yeah.
But I'm only taking like 2 or 3 seconds off my PB every time. Right. And he's like taking 10, 15 seconds. Like he's getting he's getting really, really fit. So it's going to be interesting because that's going to come, that 5K death, I'm going to call it.
I can't have him beat me.
Wow. That'll be a race, that'll be a proper beastie session. You versus. I feel like, it'll be interesting. Third one, mate. What have you started? Have you started something completely new, which you were always going to do, but never had the time to?
Yeah. So the main thing that I've started doing is like helping other people, because I've had more time. So I've had more time to like help people, whether it be with the fitness or whether it be with their mindset.
Yeah. Class.
And so I've been doing that, and you know that's what I want to do. That's where I'm moving towards.
Cool.
So I'm doing that now. I'm getting a couple of people. We're doing home workouts. So one of my ladies, she's a lovely lady. She wasn't really doing much before lockdown, and she's decided to start doing workouts from home, and she's doing amazing. She can't do it. You know, she's got children she's at home with, so she's just fitting them in as and when she can, and she's being brilliant. And she said to me the other day, she said a friend who's you know, into fitness had messaged her and said, wow, look at you, you know.
Yeah,
she's gone on Instagram and she's posting them, which is great, because that's holding her accountable. And she always said to her friend before, well, I can't do burpees, I can't do them. And she said, but when you tell me what to do, she said, I just do it. I don't even question it.
I hate the word can't. We used to have a saying in the army: can't means won't, and won't means jail.
Yeah. And she, you know, she said she's feeling so much better in herself. You know, she's feeling, and she's getting up early. She's doing them first thing in the morning, which is great.
Cool.
Which we know that when you work out in the morning, you feel better for the rest of the day, and you've got more energy, and you probably will do more. And she said, you know, on the days that she's doing like 3 a week, on the days I work out first thing, I do more in the house that day.
Mint. Nah, it's good. Barring going out, what have you stopped that you love to do?
Well, going to the gym. lifting weights.
Yeah, you should become the PR machine for CrossFit Darton, because I don't think anyone promotes them as heavily as you do. You're a good advocate of CrossFit Darton, definitely.
Yeah. I'm definitely missing like being able to train with people. Obviously, before lockdown, I was going to CrossFit, and I've got friends there that I'm not seeing, even though you can zoom in. It's not the same. So I'm missing training with people, because they push you. They push you to you know, go harder, and like running. Like with people, like we used to go out and run, didn't we? And like doing the park run, we can't do. So just that community feeling, really, of being with people. I'm lucky that I'm not living by myself.
That'd be a tough one.
That I'm living with family, so I've got people around me. But I think we're all missing seeing the people that we normally see.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, that's a fair point. Fifth and final one. What's the first thing you're going to do after lockdown? Where are you going? What are you doing?
Go to the gym, I think. I think it'll go a bit crazy when lockdown's over. Everyone's just going to be go crazy, aren't they?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think go to the gym and just get out. I think, like you say, we're going to all do a 5K.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
And see my family as well. The rest of my family that I haven't been able to see.
I
think it'll just be like, God, what can I do first? You won't know what to do first, will you?
Nah, definitely, it'll be an interesting one. Cool. Look, Hayley, that brings us to the end of the podcast, and you know, thanks very much for your time, and thanks very much for your support. You're proper on brand, and I feel that you'll definitely help people along the way. Do you know what I mean? I always talk about being the Ronseal man and like do exactly what it says on the tin. And you're one of those people. You live the life that you say you live. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are as active as you are, and you do go to the gym, and you do eat right, and you're proper on brand. So where can people find you, mate, on social media?
I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I've just gone on TikTok. So
Get on. HG's on the Wild West.
But yeah, I think I put one video on there, though it's not very good. Need to get a bit of practice.
Don't worry about that, mate. Like, no, I don't care what anyone says. No one's very good. Like, all these people who claim to be this awesome thing, like, it's about the real world, not about making daft videos. I mean, people put too much attention on, it's only got 3 likes, and it's only got this, and it's only got that. I mean, there's people out there buying likes.
I think what you've got to do is do what you're good at.
Yeah.
Don't try and be someone that you're not. And it's this thing of comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You've got to just be you. Be different.
100%. Awesome. Look, mate, thanks very much for your time. I'll work on getting this podcast out ASAP. It's great chatting to you. So, HG, see you later, mate.
Thanks. Bye.
Adios.